Ask any volleyball player what hurts most in their body, and I guarantee you they'll say their knees.
So last week we went up to Sports Academy to their BioMechanics Lab to test our biomechanics of our jumping. So to fix the problems that we learned in the BioMechanics Lab, we've created an exercise circuit made up of mobility and stability that you can do at home to decrease your knee pain.
We're also looking at your ground reaction forces. So what happens when you hit the ground? Is it symmetric? Is it off? Or how much pounds of force are you using?
Okay.
So the higher you jump, the longer you fall, the more you have an effective gravity, and you could land up to 5 body weights of force. So think if you weigh 200 pounds, you could be landing, if you're landing with 1,000 pounds of force, you're putting a lot of strain on the knees, on the hips, on the back.
Interesting.
And so you want it to be between 2 and 5. It's gonna be more than 1, but you want it to be less than 5 body weights. And so that's where the bending comes in. The approach jump, which is a little more game-like for you guys. Well, let's go for Madison, see what's happening here.
All right.
For you, on your approach jump, you were 667 with the, in this case it's the right, and 600 with the left because you're facing the other way.
Okay.
So you were only 11% different on your landing there.
Okay.
The forces were a little more symmetric, but they're still at 1,267 pounds.
Oh my gosh, it's 6 times as much.
Yeah.
And we should be at...
You would want it, I would like it better at 3, 4, something along those lines.
Holy moly.
But you just think about how many jumps. If you jump 50 times in a game, multiply that times 1,200, and that's...
Yeah.
Actually, we sat down and counted how many times we jump in a match, and we counted that 30 times me and Madison both jump per set.
It's sometimes more for a blocker than compared to a defender.
So take that number, multiply it by 1,200 pounds of force, and you get
1,200
times 30.
1,200 times 10 is
36,000? You get 30. That's 36,000 pounds of force per match.
That's the equivalent of 6 elephants
riding on your shoulders.
Yeah, I would say that less than 5 is better.
What am I
Moly.
For this one, you landed with 495 on the left and 691 on the right, so 500, 700, 1,200 pounds of force. A lot of it is kind of what we talked about yesterday, so not knowing how to get the power out of the hips properly.
Okay.
It's kind of the opposite way. So you don't move quickly to absorb the power with the hips, but you're also not moving quickly to absorb it on the way back down. So you're not producing it and you're not absorbing it with the hips.
Okay, well, I got some questions here. Is it more important that he learns how to land correctly or that he fixes the imbalances?
I think that landing correctly is more
So there
important.
you go.
landing correctly.
Absorbing some of this force more, bending a little bit more. Is it a mobility issue? Is it a range of motion kind of thing? Or is it a stability issue? And so those are 2 different areas that you can address. And mobility is definitely an important one, but stability, being able to stabilize your joints, coordination, working the hips, knees, ankles well together.
So we're always going to have an imbalance in jumping or landing versus left or right leg. It's standard on the beach or indoor. What we found is that absorbing the landing is much more important.
So Emily designed a few exercises focusing on mobility and stability to help build better jumping and landing mechanics.
Yeah.
Here you go.